Journal reading for Foster using the essential oil oracle card. Okay, it's based on the 7 chakra system here. Freedom, inspiring. It has a trigger statement here. I have no choice. This trigger statement is just expressing about how you feel inside, or maybe you're aware of that. Okay. And the true statement is, I create my day, my life. And this is a guidance message. It is a time to play, do something different today to shift your routine. So be mindful about saying, I don't have a choice. It's come from your negative attitude. So if you can change that attitude into, I create my day, my life, to free yourself from whatever restriction you're putting yourself on, okay? And the second card here, worthy. Cannot really pronounce the name of this essential oil. Copaiba, maybe if I'm saying it wrong, maybe. So this is a trigger statement for you. I am ashamed. The true statement said, I am cherished. The guidance here is, there are connections to essential and childhood memories that are ready to be healed. Allow divine light to shine within. So it feels like there's some trauma from your youth that needs healing, okay? So I feel like as of today, it's really triggering you, but you're not allowing it to come to you to the surface so that you can deal with that. So have courage to face whatever that darkness that you have, that you are suppressing. That's what your spiritual guardian is telling me. This is the last card for you. It's that encouraging motivation. The trigger statement said, I don't know where to start. The true statement should be, I take action now. And the guidance said, you will find clarity and the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. So perhaps you're procrastinating, perhaps you're hesitating, perhaps you're delaying, perhaps you do not have the awareness, and so forth. So therefore you wouldn't want to do something about it, about your life, to make positive change, to have proper self transformations, to see the light or the good things about everything of where you are now. So I'm glad you're in here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Chanel, and it's from the Sacred Spirit reading cards here. This is the let me lay this one on here. Align your universe, navigate distractions. Navigate distractions. You're having distractions from the outside and from the inside. I will call those noise because they want to influence you, giving you some false hopes. I'm picking up false hopes, false belief, false informations. So it's hard for you to understand who is Chanel at the soul level. In order to align to your higher self, you have to navigate those noises that you have. You have to learn to release them. But if you're not able to release them, then you need to learn to at least put them in stillness. So that way you can at least connect or try to open this so-called portal to connect to your higher self at the soul levels. And that's what this allow your universe really mean here. For the next card, astral travel, caution needed. Let me go to the guidebook to see if there's a specific one message here for you. This is about connections, right, to your higher self. And there's a portal, the invisible portal, because it's you have to connect to the spiritual realm to do that. And your soul is spiritual. It doesn't have this so-called the bio life form like your vessel is having, right? And caution is needed. Be mindful about those noises that you're having because they don't serve your greatest good. They only influence you to create more of those noises. And I call them negativities, like negative emotions, right? Such as fear, such as hurry, such as desperations. Those are all coming from negativities. And you still get triggered by those emotions until you learn to release those noise, until you learn not to practice those noise, until you realize, oh, you're no longer being triggered by those noise. And that's how you can tell, like to give yourself feedback. Oh, I'm finally released those noise now. I no longer practice them and I'm no longer triggered by them. So this whole purpose about this astral travel is when while you're still engaging in those noises and you're going to attract more of the same thing if you're trying to open the portal to connect to your higher selves. So from the first card is trying to say if you can put those noises in stillness while trying to connect to your higher self, to those spiritual portals, then you will be much better off because knowing that you're not engaging in so-called law of attractions. Law of attraction is meaning what you practice and that's what you're going to attract. So you don't want that. Put those noises in stillness, then try to connect to your higher self. So that way you're not attracting those noises, right? To that particular portal. That's all it's trying to tell you. So caution is needed. So remember when I say no manifestation from the beginning, why is that? Because if you stop manifesting, you're engaging in your desire. Desire come from what? Attached to those noises. So I hope you see why I don't even want people to engage in manifestation when I'm doing reading for them. So same thing when you connect to your higher self, don't manifest, okay? I think you understand that. So the last one is that ascended master, create open communication. Let me see if the Pacific message here. Your spirit guide is an ascended master. It's your co-creator in this lifetime. It wants you to open communication with it. To expand your inner wisdom. To expand the spiritual guidance. And that's what this co-creation is about. You can trust your spirit guide to navigate this spiritual journey in this lifetime. It is everywhere, but nowhere. You can talk to it anytime, aloud or just on your mind. Have you tried your intuition yet to talk to your spirit guide as well? You don't even have to think about that. Do you know that intuition is like a special sixth sense? That sensation. It can communicate with your spirit guide this way as well. It has come from your soul level, the forgotten language, the sixth sense, the intuitions. Is there anything I need to elaborate here? Meditation. You can put those noises in stillness through grounding yourself. There's a thing called wood chakra meditation, ROOT. You can use the music form that you can find a lot on the YouTube, whichever is resonating with you, or you can do silent meditation as well for wood chakra. Learning to be still, learning not to think, learning to move away all those distractions, right? Whatever is triggering your distraction. Perhaps you have too much clutter in your personal environment that you need to get rid of. Put it away, like your phone. I don't know, maybe so there's some toys that you used to play that needs to put away to help you to be still, to be silent, to get rid of those noise, like putting a lid on those noises temporary until you learn to release them, right? So this this method, it's a temporary thing. It does not require long to do it. Perhaps you can commit a couple minutes per day to see how much you can silence yourself and to see how still can you be from the inside and not allow any noises to get to you. That will be a good start for you. That will be a good practice for you on your day-to-day basis. The more that you do that, the more you can connect with your inner world, the more you can reach for your higher self. Opening this portal takes a little bit effort, takes some time. Do not rush it. Don't try to, oh, when I'm going to get there. Oh, I want to get there now because I'm curious, I'm excited. You see how those emotional languages can get you in a whole lot of trouble because you're manifesting through desperation, through excitement, through curiosity. So be mindful of that, Chanel. Don't engage in manifestation. Sometimes people are not aware emotion is the culprit of their manifestation without aware of that. So don't put timeline on yourself like you have a goal to do it. Just do it for the sake of to be still, to be silent, and see how far you can get to see what your progress is. And don't judge you saying, oh, I need to finish within a month or within a week. So do you see what I mean? Rushing, desperations, and so forth. Anything I want you to say about this? And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian, and I hope this helped you. Journal reading for Taylor. This from the Good Tarot here. Queen of Air, King of Fire, and Four of Air here as well. We'll leave it at the bottom. Let me possibly go to the guidebook here. Queen of Air. You need to set healthy boundary. You need to elevate your self-esteem through a proper way. So there's going to be some decision that you have to make. Perhaps you need to define your purpose, your life purpose. Now, intermediate and long term as well, right? About your life purpose. Is your purpose aligning to your higher self that is serving your greatest good? That's something you have to ask. While you're trying to understand your purpose, are you also understanding that you need to let go some false informations in order to have clarity of whatever that purpose? It wants me to move on to the King of Fire. How can you be confident in your own abilities and vision without becoming rigid or closed off to new ideas? Perhaps you're setting yourself with limitation because of your past experiences in life. So it's kind of hard for you to have new idea when you keep replaying back the same experience that you have in the past, whether through the feeling, whether through the familiarity, whether through the trigger that you're having by those situations. So they tend to influence your psyche. Most of the time, you're not aware of how your past have influenced you in that regard. But you do have the ability, if you want to dive deeper into those influences, to release those limitations. So I hope that makes sense to you, what your guardian is trying to tell you here. Let me move on the fourth of air. It's time to rest your mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness or even boredom. The mind needs quiet to not to think, and in order to find clarity. If you allow your mind to rest, you will have greater clarity and your mind will be sharper. Why is it sharper? Because you're not under influences. When your mind is still, when your mind is a restful and peaceful place, this is a time for break, and you need to take care of your inner world to help you understand. So, in summary, you need recuperations. Perhaps you're using your thoughts too much. Perhaps you're using your words too much. So if you can just put a pause on those and do some sort of inner self reflections every day to help yourself to be more peaceful. So that way clarity can come to you instantly, naturally. Is there any more that she needs to know, Taylor? So, and one of your life purpose here is to heal yourself. Healing yourself is also meaning letting go those influences so you can find your authentic versions of you. And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Now, reading for Chasity from the Hush Tarot. 3 cards here. The Fool, King of Swords, and the Knight of Swords here. Hmm. Do you want me to go to the guidebook? What am I getting here from the Fool here? Perhaps you're curious about certain activities in your life that catch your, attention. And I feel like you're tangling yourself with those activities because of those initial attention that you're having. And some of them are not really good experiences for you, causing you some unpleasant feelings. Some of them that give you some good moments of feelings, but they seem to be short term. And this King of Swords is trying to tell me that through those experiences, you're still having hard time understanding the purpose in them. You still have hard time discovering who is Chasity. But this rooster, it just reminding of me is it's in turmoil because stepping all over the places. And wherever that ground that this rooster stepping on, it's not very pleasant because it's not growing something beautiful out of it. I'm seeing those plants are wilting all over the places. And it's not creating abundance for you. Perhaps you're trying too hard on those activities and don't know how to say, hey, pause for a moment. Let's reflect how are they serving my greatest good? It's causing me some discomfort. It's causing me unpleasantness. I need to question, are those activities that I need to stop doing them? Because it's not doing any good for you. And I'm seeing that like unfavorable outcome for you. They harm you more than necessary. So it's up to you to do more inner reflection. How do this particular activity make you feel? Is that feeling actually making you to have, I don't want to use the term good feeling. Good feeling is not always good, okay? Good feeling could mean you're diverting the truth of a matter. Good feeling is try to avoid what is harming you. So therefore you don't have to deal with it, okay? So therefore I don't like to use the term good feeling. Good feeling could also mean not favorable to whatever you're trying to do, right? So let's move on to this Knight of Swords here. I feel like you're taking a path of what everybody else are doing. Perhaps you're getting ideas, or maybe getting some information giving you some idea of, oh, that's the trend, that's what people do, oh, they're having favorable outcome, but why it's not from you or something. So and that's what I'm getting, like, yeah, it's another chaos here. That's how all this person is you charging with everybody else. I mean, all this nature things, right? Maybe perhaps you think those are natural things. That's what everybody do. So you get into that trend. I'm not saying you're into some sort of trendsetter, following the trendsetter in that regard, but that's what the common folks are doing in this society. Okay, let's look at this way. So therefore, you're engaging in that. Okay, that type of patterns. And and do you question, are those really for you, or you're just doing that? That's what the society are doing. So I hope that makes sense what your guardian is trying to point out to you. It's nothing you need about you. Who is Chastity? And you're still just trying to navigate in this society just to be like the common folks. Perhaps you need to earn. Perhaps you need to survive. Perhaps, well, let's try it out and see how it turns out. Like you just happen to encounter that and just trying to see how it works out. I feel like there's still some uncertainty in you. Perhaps you're so driven by that particular intention with that underlying feelings. I feel like those feelings you're having are quite tricky because you're not understanding that feelings are your motivations that also not serving your greatest good. Is there any more that she needs to know about? I'm guided and here for you. May you find light from your spiritual guardians. Journal reading for Shanty from Wisdom of the House of Light Oracles. The fledgling. This is choices. Okay, let me block this because it doesn't like nudity, okay? I just don't want to get in trouble, okay? But it does say choices. Just like an angel with a exposing chest. I don't need it on here. But let me go to the guidebook here. It is about something new, a time of something new for you. You cannot know things until you're willing to experience them. But how are you going to experience them when you're not willing to get out of your zone? So it does require you to evolve. It does require you to have different perception. It does require you to have different perspective as well. Wherever you're going to stumble on for this remaining lifetime. But are you having too much expectation to limit yourself from doing that? That is one of the culprit that you're having. Your expectation, what you want, what you desire, how things that you want to turn out to be. So how are you going to experience when you're putting yourself with limitation from the beginning? And that's what it's trying to tell you. Remember, the only way for you to know something that you don't know through experiencing your life, you have to let go of everything. This is another word, inner child. That's what you got to bring out your inner child. This is card 46, choices. Let me move on to 46. Every choice that you make has a consequence. Even your thoughts are like magnets, drawing something in your life. So making sure your thought is neutral. If you think good and you think bad, so it's gonna attract those type of energy. But if your thought is neutral, and I feel like it's related to the first card. If you have expectation, what you prefer, and so forth, and you're gonna limit yourself from discovering the truth, to discovering the stuff that you don't know, Shanty. That's what it's trying to say. It's trying to tell you, do not let your mind to prefer what is good and bad. Otherwise, you're gonna have a hard time, being neutralized your own mind, right? So this is about choosing between dark and light as well. Are you still defining dark and light like good and evils? Like most people are doing that on the society? Then that is another culprit of limiting yourself. This remaining path, it's about choosing, right? Choosing is also about discerning. And hopefully you're not judging through your past experiences. It seems like it's also an important step for you to have something new in your life. And there's also something to point out, even when you decide nothing, and it's still a choice here. Is there anything else Shanti needs to know? And this is the end of your reading. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Journal reading for Sonya from the two emotional oracles. Getting ashamed, backstab, workplace affair. In the one, perhaps you think you did something wrong in the past, and you keep carrying this negativity in you, and you haven't forgive yourself yet. Cheating as well. Who's cheating? The other party cheated it. Or not really cheating in a sense, lack of commitment perhaps than what you really expecting. And this is a affair at, is it really workplace or something else? Something else. It's not, it's like an affair. I'm not sure it's the right card to use. Let me channel further with your spiritual guardian. Is this an affair? So it's not. So we just don't have the white card in this deck. So is it related to workplace? Did it happen in the workplace with this person? So it is about her workplace. It's about her work, Sonya. It's affecting your work because of this because of the situation in the past, perhaps recently. So you felt like you make the wrong choice with the person, and this person is not turn out the way you expected because there's a lack of commitments in the relationship, and it's affecting your work in a negative way. The attitude, perhaps people might have reacting to your attitude because of this personal relationship is affecting you. So you have to learn to not to be so hard on yourself, Sonya. That's what I feel like, this heavy feelings in the womb. Perhaps, I feel like your guardian is trying to tell you nothing is perfect. It does not need to be perfect. You need to start letting go the expectation you're having in regarding relationship. Yeah, you gotta take the step forward to get to know somebody. And it's not the right match, then yeah, go ahead and end it gracefully and then move on. But then you are like, you're holding on to this idea of and causing you to have these negative feelings. So your guardian really wanted you to dive deeper into how did that relationship make you feel? And can you dive deeper into understanding why you're causing your own self this relationship? Sure, on the outside, it seems like, oh, this person didn't meet my expectation. But on the inside of you, do you have to practice that negative feelings in order to get to know someone? If you're going to be continued this way, then you're driving yourself to that type of perfections, that type of expectation, that you're setting yourself the standard to set yourself up to limit in exploring your life freely. I hope you see why this feeling can cause you to limit yourself and to hold on to negative feelings. If you're not taking care of this emotional baggage that you're having, you're going to continue to encourage this negativities. That energy is going to intensify later on. So, and yeah, it's already affecting the way your attitude at work, whether you're realizing or not, because of this relationship issue. Any more I need to do for Sonya here? Guide you in here. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. This is a Horse's Tarot spread for Sonya. It is about your emotional baggage or whatever that is, okay? And the first card here for the past, the Empress. Let me see this. Do you want me to use Guidebook? This Empress supposed to be nurturing. I feel like you have been nurturing yourself improperly in the past. And I'm getting families has a lot of influence over the way that your idea of love. So perhaps you're looking up to your parents, perhaps even grandparents, with how many generations that oh, they're having such a loving relationship. Or sometimes, I'm not saying they don't argue, they don't fight, but still somehow they reconcile. So it kind of give you an idea of that's how love communication should be with another human being. So I hope you're like growing up in that environment. You're just a little child. How would you know, right? You just observe and then you just kind of mimic that kind of behaviors. So therefore your guardian is saying, yeah, in the past you're not nurturing yourself properly. So therefore you go out in the society, meet people, and therefore that's how you carry yourself, from that point of view. And that's what's going on. And this is something for you to go back and reflect on what it is that you're looking up to for your family. Did they taught you something, or did they taught you something that you knew not realize? Not necessarily they have to teach you, right? But through observation, as I mentioned, as simple as that can can mimic that type of behavior. So be mindful of that. So here the next one is the present cards. Right now, Eight of Swords. This is about you, all the sword, all this attachment you put on yourself, and it's blindfolded, this lady, and that's a rope tying so loosely. It's not even that tight. What it's trying to tell you is it's self-inflicted, all of this turmoil, unpleasantness, unhappiness, anger, worry, fear, anything else. Sometimes you do have nightmares from dreams. Is she having nightmare from dreams? Yes, that's affirmative to your spiritual guardian. So I hope you see all of that. Yeah, those are all those heavy attachment you put on yourself, because you're reacting to your day-to-day life experiences that you're having that cause you to all of this attachment, and you're not processing them properly, perhaps because of your past, right? The Empress card, what you've been nurturing, how to live a life on the external side. No one ever taught you how to live your life on the internal side. So therefore you have hard time processing. All you're doing is like reacting to your day-to-day life, whatever that you have experienced, right? So all this attachment, it's also, all of that is self-inflicted, okay? But it's up to you to pull it all each out, to pull out each of the sword, to pull out each of the attachment. But before you can do that, of course, you have to realize how you attach each one of them, so you can reverse this process. And that's the way this is your current theme, and it's going to be for the rest of your life in this regard. And that's what I'm getting here from this reading. And going to the next one, the unknown, okay, from this lover oracle. Let me read the message here. You might not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. I feel like through this reading, it's also revealing a blessing to you here to help you navigate all those attachments, so that way you can heal, you can release, you can remove them, because they are not permanent things. Even your negative emotions are not permanent. Be aware of that. If you're engaging in negative feelings, Sonya, remind yourself that is not a permanent thing. It is up to you to exercise your free wills to release that particular, negative feeling that you're having. You can heal through your own darkness, okay? Romance, Cupid arrow strike. This is a beautiful card. Actually, you do have romance in this lifetime. Don't close your heart out because of one bad apple, because a few bad apple is not the only guide that you have relationship with in the past. Just because of few bad apples, don't close your heart to this romantic journey, because I'm sensing there is someone in the future. I'm getting the word soon from your guardian. Sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Am I allowed to say it now? So there is someone special out there for you. She has met this person. This is a sacred union. Am I allowed to say what their current relationship is? It is for you to explore. It does not want me to pinpoint specific individuals, but you have met these individuals. But you need to honor and treasure the moments. But let me expand it a little bit. It's not just for with these individuals, but with every person that you ever encounter in your life, whether it's family, friends, stranger, co-workers, whoever they are. You should honor and treasure each, encounter, each conversations, you're having with them. Perhaps there's something you can learn through each other's. And the next one is guidance. Wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Is there a particular message here that she might be rushing into making decisions? Not making decisions or drawing conclusion too fast. That's what I'm getting. You're drawing conclusions. Perhaps a feel bad apple again. You're closing your heart. You already have closed your heart, Sonya. The pain, the betrayal, the uncommitment, the unexpected result. Close your heart. Healings takes time. Healings takes inner awareness of what you're doing to yourself. You are still defining how you should react because of a few bad apples in your life. Do you see you're reacting? You're emotionally reacting to a few bad apples. That's why you're drawing conclusion too fast. Whatever you're experiencing now and the future, it tells you to wait. Don't conclude anything. Explore whatever you're encountering every day freely. Don't judge. Let go of your judgment. Anything else I need to say about this particular one, guidance? About judgment, where is that coming from? From your past experiences, triggering very specific emotion in you. That emotion is the driver behind of your heavy thoughts, behavior, action, decisions. And I hope you realize that. Sonya, you're the only one who can tell what they are. Have you reflected enough? Whenever you've been triggered by those emotions, have you reflected enough to realize, oh, why am I closing my heart? Is this feeling? Can you pull that feeling out? Can you work on this feeling by pulling it out to the surface to let light shine on it? So you can heal. Like the previous reading said, you need to forgive yourself. Don't be so hard. The life does not need to be perfect. Can you let go of your expectation? Can you let go how you define what each life encounter should be? Can you let go those standards? Can you let go the difference between bad and good? Can you let go the difference between good and evils? Give yourself the opportunities. Give the other people the opportunities as well. So do you see why this card to guide you to wait? Don't conclude with those attachment. This attachment card, right? In the present. Let me move on to the next one. External. Four of Cups. Unsatisfied. That's what I'm picking it up. Not satisfied with your environment. Not satisfied with your work. Not satisfied with your so-called single status. Not satisfied with people in your relationship. It does not have to be romantic. It could be friendship, could be co-worker, could be with family, even sibling. Come to me. Seems like you have sibling as well. I don't know how many. Sometimes could be relative as well. You somehow you're not satisfied with them, with things in your life. Can you dive deeper into feeling these unsatisfactions? How each one of them makes you feel, how each things make you feel, how the environment makes you feel. If you're gonna forget about it because you're too busy reacting to your day-to-day life events, can you at least take some time each day and write them down? I feel like generalizing your feelings, it's gonna help you to reflect. If you could too busy going about from one place to the next place and you just don't, pause and reflect on your feelings, how each one of them makes you feel. I feel like this is the most critical point here, so you can connect back of your dissatisfactions. And you see this cup right here? It's like an angel cup. It tried to send you blessing. It tried to send you the revelation. It tried to send you the spiritual sign. And I feel like you have spiritual sign. You have number signs. You have like it's not about emotional triggers as emotional trigger is, and it's just like what's a better way of saying it? The emotional trigger is also a sign for you, right? You need healing. Number sign is trying to convey something to you from your spiritual guardian. But yeah, the universe as well. It want me to use the term universe. She's not allowed to connect with her spiritual guardian. She is allowed to, but it's not the right time, the defined timing issue. Anything else I need to say about the spiritual sign? Numbers. Oops, let me. Number signs, that particular one. 3. When you see it so often enough, it's bothering you. Yeah, it's just trying to tell you that you need to focus on your inner self, Sonya. If you see 3 anywhere and it's hunting you, right? And you know it deep down inside. You need to focus on your inner self. Anything else? It is also a type of warning. You're focusing on the physical side of life. You haven't really dived deep enough to understand your own emotions, how those emotions become your underlying issue. So you are aware the 3 trigger you. Okay, that is a warning as well for you if you get a lot triggered by that. Okay, you need to focus on your inner self. You need to feel your own emotions. You need to start healing. You need to start releasing. And remember the first reading, forgiveness, right? If you don't forgive yourself and you don't forgive other people's, at the same time, you don't start letting go of those expectations, and you're not going to reduce your perfections, so-called standards, you're going to have hard time, okay? Releasing those negative emotions. Be aware of that. Is there any more spirit number signs? So if you see feathers, it means your spiritual guardian is with you. You are safe in this journey. You are on spiritual journey. Sonya, don't forget that. You are a spiritual worker. You're not the only one in this world going through this type of awakenings. This type of awakenings to help you aware of your soul, the spiritual aspect of life, so you're not stuck in that physical perspective of life like a lot of people are on this world. That's why they only care about immediate gratification. You, on the other hand, you're not. I can sense that. You want to heal. You want to be better. You don't want to be sad. Anything else? Any more spiritual sign beside the feather? It is safe to talk to your spiritual guardian. It is nowhere, but it is everywhere. It can heal you. Sonya. Doesn't matter you say things aloud or you just talking on top of your head. It can feel you. It can hear you. It feels your emotion, including the one that you're not aware of. It knows you from the day your soul birth, and that is your spiritual guardian. It is from the fifth dimensional, from divine. It is nothing anywhere on the fourth dimensional realm. Fourth dimensional realm is where people stuck in hell, stuck in those evil spirits. That is not the place for you. Is there anything else about this, the external? Let me move on to the 6 positions, which is the obstacle here. Queen of Pentacles, holding on. Pentacle is usually stand for the materialistic world, the materialistic side of life, and that is a warning for you. If you see life, it's all about holding away for the future or trying to anticipate instead of, try to understand the higher purpose of why you're in this workplace, why you have to encounter conversation with this individual, why does this life event has to happen to you. If you keep trying to change for better based on your standard, and that's where you're going to get stuck in this Queen of Pentacles, trying to achieve more and more and more and never satisfied. And that's what this is all about. Living in the materialistic world, it's not an abundance. Don't try to chase this type of abundance in your life. You guys reflect on how are you doing that. Are you surrounding with too much human creations? Are you surrounding with too much human artificial things? It doesn't mean you have to go out and buy stuff to clutter your soul. You could do that through emotional side, through standard, through discrimination, through isolation, through groupthink, through culture, to isolate yourself from other human. We are only one ways, not multiple ways. People still don't understand that. That's why the world is so dark out there. Why we kill each other. Why we cannot tolerate the differences among us. I hope you understand that you have to go dive deeper. How are you being less compassionate towards certain group, but you will be more compassionate towards certain group. Perhaps you're defining your relationship with the individuals. I like you. I have an obligation toward you. Do you see how that it could turn your love into darkness? Do you see how you can close your heart because of that reason? So here, materialism doesn't have to be a thing, like a physical thing, like people, oh, I want to buy games or I want to buy music, and then I keep collecting them until my home full of all of those stuff on my bookshelves or something. It's not just that. Emotional garbage can also hurt you. In this one, this is a message from the Lover Oracle. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. So don't try to control your environment. Don't try to control the event that is happening. Maybe you try to avoid it. Oh, this is bad situation. I need to move away from this. Perhaps distance yourself from individual, distance yourself from whatever situations. Or sometimes you might try to confront it to try to change the narrative of that particular life event. That is not acceptance. That is called reaction. You're having emotional reaction toward individual life event, environment, and so forth. Work on your emotional reaction instead. Why try to confront it? Why try to move away from it? Can you freeze for a moment and sense your own emotional triggers and work on that release so that way you're not carrying that negative emotion forever? Do you see how you can heal yourself this way? So you don't have to keep attaching, right? All the soul, right? Self-inflicted. But your rope is so loosely tied because you can heal yourself from this. You can detach from all those attachments you put on yourself. Okay? I call this inner work. This is not about shadow work. Shadow work only balance between negative emotion with positive emotion. Inner work, it's about releasing those negative emotions a little bit at a time while you're being triggered by it. You gotta do it right away. Don't sit on it. If you sit on it, that emotion is disappearing, right? Because the situation is already past. I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling safe right now. So therefore, what is there for you to release? You're not engaging that negative emotion at that moment in time. Okay, be aware of that. Moving on to, can I move on to the last position here? Got to the growth. This is the growth positions for you. When you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. So this is the difference between spiritual perspective of life versus the physical perspective of life. Physical perspective of life, they want to hold on to whatever things, people. So therefore, that causes them turmoil. But however, if you live your life in a spiritual perspective sense, then you will cherish the memory, and that's good enough. Do you see how why people get so sad because of the disease of a loved one? Because they're possessive about that physical being, because they think that living is only the physical side of life, but they just don't realize, you can actually love that person pass away from a spiritual sense, the happy moments that you share. So that way you don't have to keep missing the person. So that way you don't have to like trying to hold on to this person in a physical sense, when in fact your soul is a spiritual perspective of life. So be aware of that. People just don't understand because they don't want to tap into their own soul to live this lifetime. They just only look at their body every day and think, that's me. That's more important. Physical health is more important than emotional health or this spiritual health, so-called. Anything else about this card? The next one is, when it comes to matter of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expand your understanding of life and love. So this already said, don't try to define what is right and wrong, what is good and evil. Embrace everything in this world, on this earth. Everything should be beautiful. Everything is about life. Whether the plants have consciousness or not, it has a living things, right? A piece of plant, a flower is living. Why not love the beauty of that? Maybe some of them are poisonous. You don't want to touch, but doesn't mean you can enjoy the beauty of its existence on earth. I hope that you understand everything on this earth are interrelated to the human ways. You know, a lot of humans don't want to connect to the truth nature. They just use it wherever they can, extract it out of there and turn them into their own personal gain, like medicine, drugs, the cruise oil now is talking about on the news a lot, you know, and we extract that. Guess what? It's also harming the environment because of the carbon dioxide emitting to this world, causing El Nino, in that kind of nature, right? Changing the climate stuff. But I'm just really giving you a very broad example of that, what's going on. So if you can embrace the true nature of everything and cherish them and understand that we're all interrelated, doesn't matter what they are, and you will see the beautiful side of everything. You wouldn't judge it or judge them, okay? And this is the last card here. Twin flame, your passion ignite. You are a twin flame, Sonya. You already met your twin flame in this lifetime. It is just a unconditional love journey that you have to learn how to love unconditionally. A lot of things that I mentioned here, it's nudging you to unconditional love, not to define, not to judge, not to have idea of love. Idea of love is called conditioning love through expectation to standard to perfections. That is the idea of love that is never come from unconditional love. Your soul is born with the seed of light in you. You can ignite this. The passion, it's come from the unconditional love. This is about what you need to do to identify the conditional way that you've been doing to let go all those attachment, right, from this card, so you can slowly understand how you can love unconditionally. So I hope this all makes sense to you. Is there any more I need to add about twin flame journey? Divine timing. Everything is in divine timing. When that happens, and it will happen between you and your twin flame, whatever had in store for you soon. Trust this journey. Trust that your spiritual guardian is looked after you from above. And this is the end of your Horses Tarot spread. May you find light from your spiritual guardian. Let me put this away while I do that, and feel free and think about what kind of question that you have, since I already did 2 readings for you. This is the time of sign, your question readings for you, Sonya. What can you do to feel unstuck? Evil eye, succulents, and then the clouds. Okay, let me put it here. Do you want me to go to a guidebook for her? Evil eye protections. It feels like the more you need protection, the more that you're going to feel stuck. There are people will want to buy the evil eye. They think that, oh, that's going to protect me from all these evil entity, evil energy, or evil spirits. And because they need to buy that evil eye in order to feel protected. That is coming from fear. Coming from, oh, am I going to be harmed? Am I going to get sick? Or am I going to die from this? So therefore, they engaging in fear. That's why they need protections. So I hope you realize a lot of actions, a lot of thoughts come from their negative feelings, as simple as fear. Can you do that type of inner work for yourself, Sonya, to understand what is your underlying emotion that causing you wanting to feel needing protections? What it is making you afraid? No, remember what the reading said, journalizing your feeling, journalizing your life event that you encounter every day. What are you doing every day to feel like you need protections? So in order to feel unstuck, you gotta change the way you perceive people, the way you perceive around the world. Sure, you can set up alarm for your house, wherever that you're living at. A lot of them, right? Now they have like a security camera. You can install it at your door to see who's coming in. That's called protection, right? Because I want to know, right, before I open the door, who's out there. But do you need to engage in fear? Do you feel like you need to protect yourself? But it's just a tool. It's just a thing. But then you're not realizing you're engaging in that negative feelings. to cause you this heavy energy, to cause you to have this negative energy in you. That's what causing you to feel stuck, okay? Sonya, do you see how emotion can create an enormous of negative energy to sink your soul vital energy? Your soul needs vital energy from the light, from the positive emotion, not from negative emotions. You are full of energy, but it's just that you haven't realized how negative emotion can cause heaviness, can cause negative energy, including anxiety. So the more you realize negative emotions are not permanent, then you can realize that, oh, I don't really need to engage in protection in order to set up the security camera at the front door to see who's out there before I open the door. You can just do it as a daily task. You don't have to engage in negative emotion, fear, feel like, oh, someone's gonna harm me or something. You see how you can anticipate this using negative emotion. Let go of that, then you will feel so much better. I'm just giving you an example of it, how you can do your inner work, okay? Inner work, the more you do every day, the better you will get eventually. It takes self-efforts. It takes accumulative self-efforts every day to make that happen, because you are inheriting this darkness from your human ancestor. Your parents not knowing about it, your grandparents don't know about it, your family tree certainly does not know about it until, oh, why am I having spiritual awakening? It is your destiny to be on this twin flame journey. So embrace every moment of that to learn about this. What can you do to undo your own darkness, undo this inheritance, to light up this world? Healing yourself, it's already lighting up this world. Let me move on to this succulence. Resilience. Resiliency. The succulents does not require much nurturing from the outside. They don't need much of a water. They don't need much fertilizer. They strive out in the wherever that desert, perhaps. Desert basically doesn't have much, out there, but it's still able to thrive because of the strong resiliency from this DNA. It's born like that. But look at this cactus, like your soul. Your soul is already born with this seed of light in you. It's always been that. It always have soul vital energy. It's just that you're practicing too much negativity, causing to temporarily rob those vital energy. That's okay as long as you realize what you need to do when you're having emotional triggers. Realize what that is right away. What can you do to release it? Hey, don't judge whatever that life event. Don't judge that individuals. Just knowing that this higher purpose is to reflect on your darkness. So therefore you can do your own self-healing through releasing. Yeah, but you have to go within to sense that emotion first. But if you have hard time doing that, weigh it down. It's okay. The more you realize your negative emotion, the more you can catch it right away, that I need to start releasing that emotions. Inner awareness is the key to help you to healing. It's easy for me to say, but it's up to the individual to grasp that. Anything else I need to talk about the inner work? Resiliency. The more you realize you can ignite your light, the more you realize that, yeah, this is conditioning my life. I need to remove that, deconditioning it, so I can ignite the so-called unconditional love. Throughout this journey, it's about learning what is unconditional love. And that's how you build this resilience. It is natural. It does not need to be forced. It does not require you to do anything on the outside. All it does is for you on the inside to change the way how you feel. That is the alchemy that you're capable of by changing your emotions. That's why I said negative emotions are never permanent. When you're lost, when you're stuck, like forgiveness, like compassion, and unconditional love in your heart, that is all it takes to guide you to navigate through your own darkness. So-called stuck feeling, right? Stuck feeling is just a negative feelings, Sonya, that you impose on yourself. You don't have to feel stuck. If you want to open this channel, this portal to connect to your higher self, to connect with your spiritual guardian, you have it. Exercise your free will, exercise your determination, exercise your courage, exercise your freedom, exercise all your possibilities out there in the universe waiting for you to connect. Remember that feelings being stuck? You're the one who creating that feelings. It does not have to feel that way because you're still allowing your past experiences to define who you are today. Time to let go that definitions. This is the last card, clouds, distractions. Are you having a lot of distraction in your life? Perhaps you're still looking at your life from a physical perspective. Perhaps every day you look at yourself in the mirror, what you're seeing is your body, your face, how you should comb your hair, how you should put on your makeup, what kind of outfit to put on, to dress yourself, how you should look. This is all the outside image. What about your inside, Sonya? How do you feel inside? Are you still relying on this external image to distract your inside feeling? That is called influences. You're allowing your face to influence you. You're allowing your outfit to influence you. You're allowing jewelry to influence you. Do you see influence can come in many forms from the external side of it? They are all called distractions. Family can influence you because I love them, I like them. So therefore, I tend to open up to listen to them, whether they're telling you the truth or not. I'm not saying you should quit loving them, but you don't have to love them with your own conditions, right? Why not love them unconditionally and try to listen to your inner voice instead? They don't know much about the darkness, but now you have the chance to open up to the spiritual world. Why not listen to your inner self instead? Doesn't mean you need to stop loving them, but learn to love them in a spiritual way. Learn to love them in an unconditional way. Doesn't mean you need to compromise. Compromising is a type of conditioning. Are you compromising because you are feeling toward your family, friends, or particular individual you like? Be mindful of that. That could be another distractions. Things can be distractions. Perhaps you're not realizing you don't need it, but then you're engaging in this curiosity, excitement, good feel moments. So therefore, you need to go out and try it out. But are you aware of your underlying emotions are motivating your actions, your thoughts, decisions? Those are in and out of distractions. Why not take advantage of those distractions and work on your feelings? I'm seeing this number sign here, 11. 11 is a new cycling for you. If you see 11, this is something you need to work on. Cycling, get used to it. In the world, it's about cycling, working on specific negative emotion that you need to release. If you see a 10, this also means, hey, it's end of the cycles. And there's a new beginnings coming, right? For you, 11. Everything is on divine timing. You cannot anticipate. So therefore, you need to take advantage of all those opportunity out there that is triggering you, right? Because of the distraction are triggering you. Any more that Sonya needs to know for this? And this is the end of the reading, and I hope it answered why you're feeling stuck. I think I'm going to do the full chakra reading for you here using the Psychic Tarot for Raquel's. This is the 3 cards. Crown chakra, new beginning, and also the third eye chakra here. Is there a specific message from the guidebook? Noise. Okay. The first position is about the noise. The crown chakra causing you to have noise. And that's where you're supposed to connect with the universe, where you're supposed to connect with your higher self. Having noise. I'm picking up desperation. Your spiritual guardian is telling me you have desperation of connecting to your universe in a spiritual way. Perhaps there is a negative intention on your part why you want to connect spiritually from the beginning, causing this noise. Why do you have that? Because of personal desires. Your personal desire has this underlying negative emotions and you're not realizing it, triggering the noise. You're sending your negative energy to the universe, to your higher self, that creating this so-called negative attractions. So you have to be mindful of your feelings when it comes to that connections. So the more you have negative emotions, the more intense that negative connection is going to be. And you don't want that because it creates negative energy for yourself. It could create heaviness. Like blockage is one of them. It's just like a general term, but beyond that, it's just a heavy energy. Depend what kind of negative emotion you're using to do the connections. So this is a self-inflicted until you realize, hey, what kind of negative emotion are you engaging in yourself through that intention? Why do you want to connect, right? From this chakra perspective. So let me move on to the next one, influence, new beginning. It has another thing called desperation again. The first one is a desperation. The second one is also out of desperation that you want a new beginning. What it is that you're trying to avoid, Raquel, here? Are you avoid some unpleasantness? Are you avoiding some past situations that is emotionally triggering you? Are you trying to avoid through anticipation, try to change that situation, try to change that environment for yourself, something that you try to personally benefit you in a wrong way, like you try to avoid it, try to run away from it, even though you don't feel like you're trying to run away from it, but you just try to put yourself in a different position, put yourself in a different environment. So in other words, it's just avoiding it, your negativities. Instead of trying to do the inner work, you try to probably move away from that, so that way it never come back, so I don't have to face it. You see what I mean? That you're how you can avoid it. Like it's not like you do it intentionally, but you're not realizing you're doing it through avoidance, not able to face your own darkness in order to bring it out, put it out to the surface in order for you to do the necessary healing. So this is a new beginning you're trying to create for yourself, whether you intentionally doing it or not. But your feelings, it's kind of trying to tell you, yeah, you want a new beginning so you don't have to deal with your past. And that's what causing this heavy energy. It's, at the same time you're creating negative feelings, you're not realizing you're engaging these negative feelings through avoidance is another way of encouraging negative feelings. So that is the influence, and you need to stop avoiding, right? You need to bring out your courage to face your own darkness, so you can stop avoiding it. In a word, it's unavoidable. It's inevitable when you're having emotional trigger through whatever life event that you're dealing with, even having sentimental feelings of the past, whatever things, whatever people, whatever environment that trigger you to having sentimental feelings. That is an emotional trigger that you need to go dive within to do the inner work. I hope that makes sense, right? It is not avoidable. It is an opportunity to help you to see that, oh, you're still holding on to that negative feeling, that familiar feelings that you still need to work on. So this is the third position. It's about choice. The third eye chakra. The eye chakra is about the intuition. It is about opening a portal to people do it in a quick way of connecting with the spiritual realm, but it's not a good way when you're jumping the process, jumping the levels to out of desperation. Again, this is you choose to connect perhaps through your intuition to open this third eye chakra to cause a much faster pace than the divine timing for you. If that's not the right timing and you force the matter through whatever personal feeling that you're having, based on the previous two cards, desperation out of, again, it's out of desperation. So you're opening up your third eye chakra too fast without even grounding yourself, without even understanding that you need to do your inner work about your emotional triggers that you're having. So you cannot avoid it and you cannot suppress it. The more you do, the more heavy energy that you get, the more you're attracting the same thing, okay? Because that's what you're giving out, and that's what universe is sending back to you. Is there anything else that I need to mention here for Raquel here? So you need to speak the truth. The throat chakra is meant for you to speak the truth. You cannot deny the truth. If you're running away from something, you're denying the truth. So speak the truth, that knowing that you have this particular negative emotion, you have to speak the truth that I need to deal with it. I need to have courage to face it and don't avoid it anymore longer. And also that you need to understand that you cannot do things out of desperations. Shadow work, it's meaning you're trying to balance your negative emotion with your positive emotion. They never work. Inner work, it's about releasing your negative emotions so they don't become a permanent thing in your life. No negative emotions are permanent. It is up to your free will to do the self effort to release it whenever you're having those negative emotions triggers in your day-to-day life. How well are you dealing with that? How well are you releasing it? Are you still attaching to them? Perhaps you're still misinterpreting the way how you're attaching to negative emotions and not realizing it. You have them, but not really doing anything about them. Anything else that Raquel's need to the full chakra? Yeah, it is about being authentic. It is about speaking the truth. That should never come from influences. through your personal feeling. It should not come from influences from the external living just because you're desperate of having a good time, because you're desperate of moving on, or whatever expectation you have in your life, whatever desire that you want in your life. So I hope you see that your personal desire is going against your soul healing. They don't collide. They don't align together to serve your greatest good. So you have to let go your personal desire to understand that I need to have soul healing first. It should be at my priority. It shouldn't be about my physical living just because I need to have a feel good moment or whatever that is that you're running away from. Perhaps the fear. You have to try to let go this fear. If fears keep coming through you, if anxiety keep coming through you, take some deep breath and let yourself know what is your current priority. It's healing. It's more important than anything else. Then you should take that more seriously. Your spiritual guardian said, pull out your inner strength, pull out your courage to face your own fear. Fear is a type of negative emotions. It is your darkness. Why let that trigger you? Why continue to practice the fear when you have so many opportunities to release it? Let love, compassion, and forgiveness into your heart to guide you to release this fear. Anything else for Raquel? God to enter here for you. May you find light from your spiritual guardian, and I hope this reading helped you.